So one of the questions we get asked at Shanesmithlaw is, how is a child's case different, okay? Or how is a minor's case different? And a minor is anybody under the age of 18, okay? And the first thing is, obviously, for a child or somebody under the age of 18, the primary contact person is generally the adult, okay? Whoever's got custody of the kid, mom, dad. Now sometimes if you've got teenagers like I do, who are 16 or 17 years old, who have their own cell phones and sort of manage themselves, the adult may say, hey, it's okay to talk to my son or daughter directly. And if so, then that's what we can do. However, settlements, signing the contracts, even signing medical authorizations, all that needs to go through the parent, okay? Unless the kid is emancipated, meaning they're out on their own all by themselves. But I want to point out, just because somebody is a minor, okay, they're under 18, doesn't mean they can't seriously get hurt in the accident, okay? Doesn't mean they shouldn't go to the medical doctor, they shouldn't get medical care and treatment, okay? Sometimes we see where people are hesitant to take their child, or they're like, well, they're 7 or 8, they're just going to get better, okay? Or they're worried people will discount that their child is actually in pain or hurt, okay? I firmly believe if your child is in an accident, they need to get seen by the doctor, okay? If for no other reason, then check them out and make sure they're totally okay. I tell people all the time, hey, if the child's not hurt, have them go see their pediatrician, get them checked out, so they can put in the notes so that if something happens 2 or 3 or 4 months from now, the doc is at least aware that there was an accident, so they can check out and make sure that's not the cause of it, okay? That might be a red flag that tips them off on what the issue is. So just get in the medical records if for nothing else, okay? But if the child is hurt, let's make sure they see the medical doctor, okay? See the pediatrician. If they're in physical therapy or seeing a chiropractor, I generally recommend you check in with your pediatrician every 6 weeks so they can document, so they can write down in the medical records that your child is getting better or that they're not getting better. That's one of the things we hate to see, is when a child isn't recovering or progressing through the injuries in a timely manner, and they're sort of just lingering at this level of pain. And no parent wants to see their child in pain or not getting better, okay? Or all of our fears are that something seriously is going to be wrong with the child. For no other reason than that, I would say see your pediatrician at least once or twice. But if they're still in treatment with a chiropractor or physical therapist, make sure they're seeing the medical doctor, okay? One of the final things about a minor's case that comes up a lot of times is that sometimes that money has to be locked up in trust or put into a trust account or something like that for the child, okay? We see this most often when it's a larger case, okay, when the child was hurt severely, where the courts, because anything with a minor has to be approved by the court, or anything of any significant value has to be approved by the court, saying, okay, I've evaluated it, yes, it's a fair settlement, and now lawyer and guardian, what are we gonna do with the child's money, okay? Because under the law, that's the child's money to compensate them for that injury. So a lot of times the courts will lock it up until the child turns 18. Sometimes they may let the parents use it for some of the child's needs, but overall they lock that up, okay? And it generally stays there until the child turns 18, either an annuity or some kind of investment account or some kind of account there for the child's benefit, okay? If you're in pain, call Shane, find us online, or dial 9 at 980-999-9999.
980-999-9999. 980-999-9999. Shanesmithlaw. In pain, call Shane.